Hey everyone, Joe Weisman here. And you're tuned into the Ill Noise Business Playbook. Big ideas, bold stories, and local impact. Let's make some noise.
All right, welcome to the Ill Noise Business Playbook, brought to you by Byte Outfitters, where websmithing's done right. We've got Angela here with VentureWrite. Angela, how are you doing today?
Excellent. How are you, Joe?
I'm doing excellent. Good to see you. Before we kind of get into all the wonderful things that you're doing with your business, it's a beautiful Friday that we're doing this on, and obviously we're getting ready for the weekend here. So do you have any special plans over the weekend? Are you doing anything special?
This week we're actually, other than soccer, which is what our weekends have been overtaken with in the last couple of months.
Okay.
My dad is actually coming in, and we're going to hit Tight Head Brewery in Mundelein because it's their Hoptoberfest.
Nice.
So we're going to go to Hoptoberfest on Saturday, which is always an excellent time.
Right.
And then soccer on Sunday. And
Okay.
I will absolutely be watching the WNBA games tonight and trying to watch it in between the soccer games on Sunday. See where we're at.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. We started this a long time ago. It was originally a sports podcast that we were doing, and the WNBA was really kind of hitting. So it's great. As you can see here, I'm still a fan of sports. That's why we still have that in the background. But we'll probably be checking those out too as much as we can. So, well, awesome. Boy, it sounds like you're going to be hopping on over and having a great time this weekend. So that's cool. Let's talk about VentureWrite. What inspired you to start your business, and just tell us what it's all about.
So VentureWrite was a company built out of necessity. So I had been in retail, and I guess technically I would still say I am in retail with my husband's business for 18 plus years at that point. And I got pregnant, and my husband and I were looking at childcare, and I was like, well, I could continue to work the 60 to 80 hours that is required of a store manager, and that seems insane. So we took, I guess, the other option of insanity was to jump with no safety net. And I said, I'm really good at writing. And originally I was going to be a blogger, hence why it was VentureWrite, WRITE. And then it turns out I was actually signed up to be a Beachbody coach with my little sister. And she's like, we're going to do this. It's going to be amazing. I was like, okay. I had no idea what it was. And if anybody knows, and Beachbody has completely rebranded, like they're not called Beachbody anymore, but it was when P90X, Insanity, everything was in that heyday, right? It was, everyone's going gangbusters. And so I had to figure out social media. So we're looking at a decade plus ago at this point, right? So I've had VentureWrite for 11 years. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, I don't know anything about social media. Like none of it. And this is the only way that you can run this business, an MLM business. So where are you going to find people?
Sure.
So I did a deep dive. My son slept. I was on social media. My son slept. I was watching YouTube videos. I was in Facebook, like all the tutorials, everything that I could possibly find. And I spent 3 months solid going, okay, I'm going to figure this out. And then I quit my job and I looked at my husband and he looks at me and he's like, what are all those small businesses doing out there to market their business? I have a communications degree, like marketing was part of my background. I'd done it for small businesses, so I knew what that was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's a really good point. And so I started talking to small businesses. I got out, started networking, and I said, I can run your social media for you. And at the time, people were like, what? Like somebody else is going to run it? I don't have to figure it out. Now it's an entire college course. There are people saying, hey, I've been doing this, whatever, and they're taught. And I could go on and on about what they're not taught.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, fascinating. And so that's kind of how it all began. And we have gone through the ringer. Social media obviously is not what it was then. I just wrote a blog on TikTok and everything that's happening with that. It's changed a lot. And what also has kind of changed through that time is the needs of small businesses, looking at marketing, which I will always tell you, yes, you need marketing, right? It's always the first thing to get cut, and it always hurts a little piece of my soul when that is the case. But when you're in this business a while, you're also talking to a lot of small business owners and you realize that maybe marketing isn't quite the situation. So recently we started to get, I was certified as a business coach. So I've been able to help out businesses not only with their marketing and their messaging, but also everything that's builds with that marketing. And so it's been a fun, new, I would say, adventure that were going on.
How do you get the word out about what you're doing? How do you acquire your customer base? What sort of strategies do you have on place? You
So
have in
a
place?
lot, sorry, can you say that one more time?
What sort of strategies do you have in place to grow your customer base?
So a lot of my work is done with person-to-person networking.
Okay.
We are absolutely, you can find us online just about everywhere, right? We've got Pinterest. My shorts are all on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I have dabbled on TikTok, stepped back from TikTok. I'm not sure where I'm at. I will get stuck in the TikTok rabbit hole so fast. It's just not a good place. It's amazing content.
Yes. Yes, for sure.
The algorithm is almost too good for my own good. So we do all of that, but that's my awareness, right? That's so people just know that I am legit and I exist.
Okay.
In 2018, I wrote a book. Clients and Customer is the Business of Social Media, Clients and Customers, not just likes and followers. People can find it on Amazon. You know, it was 2018, so it was dated. It is now. And so that was one of those things that I like. That's how I started to get that expert level. Oh, yes, I do know what I'm doing. And networking groups are really kind of my bread and butter of where I find people. I'm part of a chapter of a group called Am Spirit, which is a referral networking group. There's a ton of chapters throughout the Chicagoland area. There's over 400 members. And once you join one chapter, you can go to all the chapters,
I like it. Okay.
which is huge. And so I can literally, maybe on Thursday, that's the day that my home chapter meets. But if I'm available or traveling somewhere else on a Wednesday or a Tuesday or a Friday, I could go to another networking meeting. All of them are going to have socials. All of them are going to have area-wide events. So you're able to go to a lot of different options throughout the way. And then, there's chambers, which you can hit like some smaller areas. One of the interesting pieces, so right now I'm actually working on another book, and it's about the mistakes that we make as small business owners, right? And so I need people that have had their business for about 5 years, right? Because there's a point where you're like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that.
Yes. Absolutely.
I've learned from it, and now I'm at that next step, right? But those first couple years, you still don't know that you probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Where's that DeLorean that I can hop
Right.
go hang
Yeah.
out with on for sure. Absolutely.
So I was actually talking to someone, and we were talking about, he was 5 years in, so he has had his company for over 10 years as well. And he was like, if I had known how to hack my sales process
Mm.
at the beginning, I would be light years away from where I am now. And my business would be so much easier because I would recognize the control I have over my own business. And it's, hacking those certain things, like knowing I can get leads on LinkedIn, yet is it more effective for me to meet them in person and then connect with them on LinkedIn and then add them to my CRM and make sure that they're seeing all these things, right? I mean, I have absolutely had networking where I've had global clients. So based in Hong Kong, Canada, like just different areas all over the world through different networking partners. But I would say 90% of my business comes from that networking and those referrals. I do randomly get, a call. I found you on Google. That's not that often, but I do make sure that my Google profile is up to date.
Okay.
I think my SEO guy would be really upset with me if it wasn't. He's like, can we fix this? Yes, go for it.
Now, Angela, you've been doing this for quite a while, and you've seen social media just obviously change shape so many different ways. So can you talk about some future trends that you anticipate with social media and with what you're doing in order to sort of you always want to be ahead of the curve, right? You want to be proactive, not reactive. So what do you see out there that you think you're going to have to deal with, and how do you plan on doing so?
So it's funny because my account manager and I just had this conversation on Monday is because we're always looking. I mean, now we're about to go into holiday, right? For a lot of people. And then the flip side are those people that don't have holidays, they're going into their downtime. So it's like, the downtime people, they need to start getting ready to ramp up for next year. And the other people are about to ready to pull their hair out because how do we survive holiday? I mean,
Sure.
you got the 50-50. We are trying our best to figure out how to make sure that we always have one foot outside of the metaverse. So Meta is, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and they've got their tentacles in a lot of different places. What I don't love about Facebook and Instagram, back in the day, it was so easy on Facebook. It was so easy to be seen. It was a time algorithm. If you posted or people saw you, 1 to 3% of your followers will see your post on Facebook. 3.5% of your followers will see your post on Instagram. They make it very difficult. And most of us are like, well, we're posting. That's what we're supposed to do. But that's not what the algorithm wants. The algorithm wants your content to keep people, or they want to see you engaging. So you have to go and find people. And I created a workbook for people that don't like to engage, because it's one of the hardest things for people to understand is like you have to be social on social media. And it can be really, intimidating to be like, you want me to go out and talk to people? When you get in a group, it feels a little safer, but otherwise, and this isn't new. I mean, like Gary Vaynerchuk wrote a book, Jab, Jab, Punch, Punch, or something along those lines. I've got it on my, bookshelf back there. And this is that same type of thought process. Like you have to go out and you have to engage. What we are doing is we are looking at the platforms that we still see growing. Like Facebook and Instagram are pretty much, I would almost say, stagnant. And I don't even pay attention to Threads. It's just something that's every time I get on Threads, it's literally a bunch of social media managers complaining about their clients. It's the craziest thing.
Right.
Like,
Right.
that's a whole different world is Threads, right? So we are actually looking at more the evergreen content. What are you doing to drive traffic from Pinterest to your website? Because there are things that, say it's a download, whatever you're giving away. Like for me right now, I have this workbook that I'm giving away for engagement. Somebody else might have how to build a garden, and make sure that's there. And they're sending people there. The beauty of Pinterest is it's a keyword site. So people, if they go small business or they're looking for a specific small business, whatever it does, they see your pin on Pinterest, they click on it, they go to your site. It's just, and that pin's going to be there forever.
Right.
They also have a really good customer service team, believe it or not, at Pinterest. People talk to you, they want to call you, they help you with ads. It's amazing.
Beautiful.
If anyone ever tells you that Facebook has called them, they're lying, and it is. So just
very well aware of that.
It doesn't reach out.
Yes.
So Pinterest is definitely going to be a focus for us. LinkedIn is going back to its roots a little bit. So it's continuing to still be that business to business. They're introducing Reels, which looks a little crazy on the platform, but that's there now. So we're going to be working a little bit more on LinkedIn. LinkedIn actually now has like training for agencies, which is brand new. So we're looking at that. And then we're diving more into YouTube. We've got a lot more clients who are starting to notice that they can post a reel on Instagram and it's going to get them nowhere. They can post it on YouTube and all of a sudden they've got 31,000 views. Exact same thing.
Yes.
So, how do we make sure that they are in a diverse area? So for us in 2026, it's really going to be focusing on Pinterest, LinkedIn, and YouTube.
Awesome. Boy, you've taught the audience so many lessons today, Angela. It's so beautiful. How do people reach out to you? How do they get to know more about what you're doing?
So they can contact me directly at Angela@VentureWrite.com. VentureWrite is spelled VentureUrite.com, which is where everyone always kind of gets that messed up. And absolutely go to my website, VentureWrite.com. They can find us on social media with the handle VentureWrite Media, and then look us up just about anywhere.
Awesome. Well, Angela, thank you so much for spending time with us today. I hope you have a wonderful day, okay?
Awesome. Thank you, Joe. You as well.
Take care.